Happy Saturday. Happy day of Saturn to all of you, and welcome to Beyond the Veil with Adina. I am Adina, your hostess with the mostest around here on this channel. And if you're new here, I am also your resident medium, oracle, woo lady, wise woman, prophetess, seer, diviner, oracle, whatever you like to call us these days. And I do those things around here, and I'll be doing them around here today. So if you're not into that, I get it. I really do. And I just invite you to leave just as peacefully as you have come. And if that is your steez, then have a seat amongst us. We're a nice bunch. To all of my regular viewers, oh, why does this keep puffing? Look, anyways, to all my viewers, regular subscribers, busted babies, bush watchers, and all of that in between, welcome you guys. Happy Saturday, happy day of Saturn, and how you guys doing? Hey Diamond, happy Saturday right back to you. How are you doing today? As everybody comes in the live, please just let me know how you're doing so that it's just Southern hospitality. When someone says, "Hey, how you doing?" you usually tell them. And then you say something like, "Hey, Sandra. Hey, Adorned. I am well. Yellow." I love that, Sandra, because I read that in my granddaddy's voice. Yellow. My granddaddy would say, if you were calling the phone, because that's when he said yellow, it would be like, ring, 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 yellow. Hey, I'm good. How's you? And then whatever. So happy that you guys are joining me on this lovely Saturday. I have two members' lives to do and, excuse me, a ceremony. So I shall not be up here all day, all night, like I said I was yesterday, because I forgot all about my schedule when I was just in the heat of the moment. And I was like, yeah, and tomorrow I'm going to be here all day. And meanwhile, my schedule is like, hey, Leo, honey bunny, all my babies. So it's a Let's Chat Saturday. For those of you guys who are new around here at Beyond the Veil, whenever I title a video Let's Chat or announce that it's a Let's Chat day, that means we can talk to, hey, Jason, are you the dream? Oh, wait, his last name isn't Smith, is it? Nope. What's up, boy? So whenever I announce that it's a Let's Chat, I open up the chat or the topic that we are going to divine on to the chat. So it's a lot been going on, and to me, it's nothing been going on, which is why it's a Let's Chat. But I know for others, it's probably a lot going on. And so, since I'm not abreast of all the matters that people like to talk about, I like to invite you guys to tell me what you want. Tell me what you need. And tell me if it ain't good enough for you, baby. If nobody says nothing, you guys don't have anything to discuss, then I will. Artemis 2 landing from the moon just happened. Right. Hey, Seneca, I like that name. I love you too. Oh my gosh, I received that and then I send it right back. You like that, don't you? You like that, Seneca? I like that. Hey, Alfredo, like the kids do. By the way, I hate that dance that the kids do. Am I a boy? Not with these perky B cups. I hate that dance, but when I saw Alfredo, I thought, I hate it. You wanna know why I hate it? It's because of the neck part when they when they do this. I oh, I just it's something about the it just looks so remedial to me. I actually cringe. This is a robe that I got from Amazon. So when the other person makes you I guess makes you eat, yeah, I can be this person. Yeah, I can be the feeder, but I can't be the eater in the dance because it makes me cringe when they Okay. See, I told y'all to tell me what to talk about because if I do, listen. When I don't have anything to talk about, then I really don't have anything to talk about. I see my numbers in the chat just drop down from 17 to 7. God dang, y'all like to dance that much? My bad. Listen, my bad. If y'all like it, I ain't trying to say y'all can't do it. I'm just saying I can't do the eater part. I have to be the feeder. Hey Tracy, hey. Okay, so Alfredo, you like my laugh? Oh my gosh, you are just as crazy as I am then. So, who is that talked about this moon landing? Leo, of course. Of course, it's one of the regulars around here, one of the aliens. You're on your way to the park, Tracy Trace. Have a good dilly dally down at the park, my dear. Take a breath of fresh air for me. No, really, in honor of me, when you're down to the park and you do this, Adina, inhale, Adina, just like that. And I'll receive it and I'll send it back. All right, so let's look at this moon landing. Did they go to the moon part two? Now, y'all know how I feel about them playing around with these planets that they think they be playing around on. Tell them the green screen and the AI machine is giving everything away. If they could go to the moon, they would have left this planet in mass by now. With all of their resources, if they were able to go there successfully, it would be skyscrapers on the moon by now and lots and lots and lots of toxic waste. So let's see. Now I'm going to ask the spirits if Artemis went to the moon, this if they landed on the moon, what they said was the second time. And there is a moon card in here. So I should pull the moon. If they did, I should pull it first and foremost because if I'm asking, did they go to the moon? And there is a card of the moon in here that got dogged, that should be the very first card out, right? All right. Okay, so let me cleanse my hand of the stench of trolls in the chat. You know, they always coming in here smelling like poverty. And we don't like that, do we? Do we, chat? Nope. So whenever the trolls start coming in here, I make sure to yuck that shit off of me because I don't want poverty mentality, poverty spirituality, poverty emotions, just poverty pockets. Just, I don't want that in my life. All right. They were also releasing lots of moon photos. This, oh yes, because this time they said we got to have receipts. We're in the age of social media, so we can't go this time without a receipt or two. So go on Google, print out that the best. most ethereal, real looking photo you can find. We're gonna blow it up on our projector and boom. I'm just kidding. Let's see. Most High Mother and Father God, thank you for this day of Saturn. It's good for restriction and binding. So if you have bad habits, if you have vices, if you have things that you are trying to quit, overcome, or something that you're trying to achieve, but it requires discipline and putting yourself on like a strict plan, things like that. Saturn day, believe it or not, the day that they tell us to go have fun in the world is actually the day that you would do that. It's actually the day that you should be disciplining yourself. Do I understand science, Nick? Or is it through the understanding that has led you to believe in magic? Science has always been one of my favorite subjects, and my father is a genius, hence why I believe in energy. I mean, they tell us that in science, my dear. All right. Some of us are just born the way we are, and there is no what led me here. I have been here since I came through my mother's womb. It's just me. I'm not a trendy girl around here. So whatever was in me, I became it. Most High Mother and Father God, thank you for this Saturn day, this day of Saturn. I restrict and bind those who come to troll me. May they experience restriction and boundaries in their lives that cause them to suffer until they find something more productive to do. Please allow me to look into this alleged moon landing, part deux. They have said again, we have landed on the moon. Take a selfie. Spirit, did these people in their space cars, in their space suits, did they go and land on the moon? In their Artemis Prime vehicle, in their airbender, did they arrive on the moon? Eyes closed. I'm shuffling with you guys. I better pull the moon. First and foremost, I better pull the moon first and foremost, or else I ain't going. And neither are they. Because I'm asking, did they land on the moon? So I should pull the moon. Jesus Christ died so that I can live. Well, isn't Jesus proud that his sacrifice gave the world me? Amen. They went around the moon. Hmm. Oh dear, an earth sign. Look, he's all in his astronaut gear, but you know where he is? On the earth. I thought with all the snooping on this channel that they've done, that they take some of the wisdom that I have given them. You guys, why my question is, why do you guys do this? Why do you guys do this? Is it because 2 or 3 weeks ago that guy came out saying that he was somewhere in a top secret location and witnessed some otherworldly creature, and he was just like he's gonna blow the whistle on it. They just been planting seeds and stories here and there where they feel like conspiracy theorists reside. They've been dropping stories there for the past while, in places where the conspiracy theorists will start putting on their hats and then driving so that they can give you guys the grand surprise. It's my pal ET. Everybody clap for ET. Yeah. No one's clapping. Everybody, right? Yeah, come on. Yeah, right there at the back. Make them clap. Yeah. Round of applause. B613, I think we have a problem. No one is clapping at the ET. No one is clapping at the ET, I repeat. They said, are the alien actors almost ready? I said, are the alien crisis actors almost ready? God damn it, all the money that we've spent on this top of the line costume technology, and they're still not ready. We need a landing. Y'all gonna see some of the hoodest ass aliens come out on TV. They're gonna be tripping and stumbling. Oh shit. I mean, eh. Let me find out that they told the ICE agents, listen, it's getting real out here, and the people, we gotta calm down. So we got a new job for you guys. Yeah, yeah, we got a new job for you guys. This is an earth sign card. And this is a knight, but just imagine it's an astronaut knight because his suit. So this is their suits, their space cadaver suit. Space cadaver? Anyways, whatever. It sounds good. But listen, this is called the slowest knight in the deck because obviously the horsey is not in motion. The horsey looks like it's looking for something to graze upon. And the rider is so focused on this golden pentacle that it doesn't even care. It doesn't even notice that it's not moving. It even dropped its guard, mouth guard, just to gaze upon it. Meanwhile, the horse is like, I don't see any grass around here. This is an earth sign Capricorn, Venus, Taurus. Taurus in astrology represents Mother Earth, Gaia. If I pull a earth sign instead of the moon, what the fuck does that say? Just play imaginary with me with cards. There is a card in here called the moon, and it has a big old moon on it. But I pulled an earth sign card when I asked if they landed on the moon, and this is the slowest night in the deck, bitch. It means they never left. I told them they have to go under the sea, but they know that. The problem is what's down there. Doesn't let them get too far successfully. So until they find a way, they'll keep trying to fool us. It's like they're trying to buy time until they find a way to get down there past the things that God, the down there. I'm inclined to believe that y'all might have gotten a visit or two, but I don't call them aliens. As an alien myself, I call them ancestors. Sure, Diamond. Sure, we can do a read on the ocean. Okay. Knight of Pentacles, Ace of Wands in reverse. They cannot. Listen, I said, did they go to the moon? What does this look like? Even if you don't know how to read these things, what does this one look like if you say, did they land on the moon? This looks like they were on the earth because this is the earth sign, or it looks like they tried. This looks like a hell no. They would love to. They have studied, they have researched, they have made various attempts to do so. But there is a natural law, which is why you see the divine hand of God here saying no, or the creative force for the scientists out there, the primordial energy, I don't know, whatever they call it in the bougie circles, but there is a natural law that prohibits humans from going certain places. Especially, first of all, humans can't go certain places, but under the direction of hybrids, you guys can't even get through the ninth gate. I'm laughing in my most Mother Earthly voice. Because you know, Mother Earth was a big black woman, a big mama. Child, look at her gagging on herself. A big brown round woman, a big hearty laugh, very shoulder shrug, and very bankhead. Yes, yes. Because we always have to honor the ancestors around here, even when we laugh. One more, because I pulled three to answer real quick questions. Now, why would you guys be interested in fibbing? I was told calling people a liar was a naughty thing. Why are you guys fibbing? This is I guess what you guys would call a long held conspiracy, but a conspiracy to civilians, a, a strategy and manipulation to the other side. It's intentional. It feels like they are still, as I mentioned, aloof or unaware or uninformed about certain things. And all of their research, all of their studying, all of their trials and errors all lead them back, it seems, to more problems than solutions with trying to get where they're trying to go. Constantine, my Dutch cousin. Hello. Wait. Do you guys river dance? Is that Dutch? My Dutch cousin. I too am Dutch. While I am cooking in the oven sometimes, and when I used to roll Dutch masters, but we are cousins. Constantine, my Dutch cousin. Here. Are you guys the ones that river dance, or is that the Irish? Is it the Dutch? Because if that's the Dutch, then that was for you, Constantine, Dutch cousin. That was for you. All right, let's look into this fib. Negative. Sorry. That's the Irish. Liv, why didn't you tell me before I did it? Constantine, please. I really wanted to do that because I thought it was Dutch, but I don't know what you guys do. So, whatever dance you guys do, it's for you, Dutch cousin. All right, King of Sword in reverse. Why do you guys tell these fibs? Is it because you are confounded and astounded yourselves? There's still, this is a Pisces card. Speaking of Diamond asking me to read about the ocean, this is the OG Pisces card, this and the High Priestess. Something about their Christ doctrine. Now, I'm not saying the esoteric, like the OG doctrine that was compiled and then borrowed, forged, stole, and all of that, and then compiled into what they call their New World Testament order, but it feels like because I know that they found prophecies that were probably about them. And then they destroyed the ones that they were like, no, we can't dare let anyone see those. Can't bear to see them ourselves. They talk about our destruction. So they destroyed some, but certain ones that talked about their end time activities, they had to keep. Because if everybody back then was prophesying, as an oracle does, about their destruction, then they obviously thought, okay, then let's try to figure out how to not be destructed. And so they are good at strategy. You wanted to see me do it constant. There you go. There you go. Don't say I never give you nothing. So some of them they kept. So it feels like, and they some of them they did put into the Christian Bible. They just didn't tell you the truth about who they came from, and who those prophecies came from, and who they were going to. Things like that. So it feels like they are aware of a certain time that we are in, and destruction seems to be inevitable. Judgment from the divine hand of the energy source of creation seems to be upon all that is not natural. Waging war against everything that is not 100% natural, organic, not anything that's hybrid, including people, possibly, who, who might have foreign DNA in them, mixed with some not foreign DNA, perhaps. So, again, these are people who like to evade death because on the other side of that death, and so if you were one who wanted to evade death and you're a vampire, but your blood supply was getting low because the masses are starting to slowly open one eye out of their slumber so they know to watch you with it. So it's a little bit more difficult to make moves. And meanwhile, Andrew is locked up, probably not getting his supply. His cousin over there in Transylvania is probably kept up in the crypt somewhere in the castle, shriveling as we speak. So they've got to figure out a way how to evade this thing called natural law that seems to be against them. The problem is they're saying that they're going out of space from the air, but the hangman is a Pisces card. So they are aware that they have to go under the sea. They are aware. But let me tell you something. I don't think that we ever known or ever heard about all of the failed sea exploration missions they had. They can't possibly tell us. It has to be some top secret. And I'm sure there are stories in there about battles with B613 and the forces of Triton and his kingdom. From the bowels of the earth we came, and to the bowels of the earth we return. None of us descended out of the air, none of us humans. So why would that be the way that we get out? Yes, NASA, yes, they still be going down there. But anyways, so this is a C card, to be honest. And this is attempting. The hangman, if this were the case, they would say, we're just waiting for the right moment to leave. But we already know our way through the sea, through the crust, out, and then back in. We already know the route. In reverse, though, this is we gotta figure it out. We have to go. The hangman goes from hanging with ease while he just sits there and gains enlightenment, waiting for the right moment, and then he'll release himself. In reverse, you can actually, you're standing up, you're standing the fuck up now. So this is a sense of urgency. We have to try to figure out how to crack the crust. We have to get down there. So every time they tell us to look up, It's because they're really drilling holes into the sea or something like that, or fighting space wars under the sea. Look at this. None of those people that were on board went anywhere, in my opinion. However, I think, and since the blue of the sky is now below, and then the earth is now above, they have had many failed attempts under the sea, in my opinion. And I say failed because obviously this is the Five of Wands in reverse, and because it's the Five of Wands and not the Five of Swords. If it was the Five of Swords in reverse, I would say that they've had failures, but in those failures, they've had one very significant win that, rather, they failed four other times. They cracked something significantly. Wands are just attempts, and they're futile. Want to know why? Because the divine hand of the creative force said no. So nobody else can continue to do this. You can try all you want, but that divine hand said no. So everybody has to also follow suit. Do you guys not understand natural law? I thought you guys were scientists. Like if a magnet comes and you're just a needle, then you're gonna get scooped right on up. So this is the magnet. And this is their attempts under the sea. Look at that. A water sign. Water. Cups. Now look, this is them. Just a shadow of mankind. Yes, the shadow side of mankind. Want to know why? Because in their beginning, they exemplified everything evil, which is why the creative force decided to make a mass separation. Y'all can't because y'all if I keep y'all around, my children, you guys are going to dilute them with your um barbarous barbaric nature. That was the reasons for marking a people and making them vagabonds and wanderers. You can't sit here. So, the shadow side of man, because man wasn't made to be what these people exemplify throughout history. So, their nature says that this is who they are. Mankind was always supposed to be something very opposite. And if you just open your eyes, you can actually see that today if you know how to look. Nevertheless, they have come across many of us experiences on their attempt to evade death the way the humans. Listen, the aliens that they speak of did come from under the water, but my members, well, they did come from outer space, which we know is in the water, but my members know. Those aren't aliens. Those aren't demons that are sealed in the Goetia. They said they come from the sixth, well, I won't go there. Well, at least that was what Glacia Labola said. And I won't say that Glacia speaks for whatever race the aliens are that are under the sea, but we do know that various cultures of ancient texts, of ancient people, I'm talking about the ancient cultures who are traced back to the earliest cultures of humanity, have all, no matter where they were dispersed on this earth, they all have similar stories of water beings. Amen. Live, you're African as hell. So you know very well about the, well, maybe you, I just won't say that, but God dog it, they said water beings came and taught them the civilization that we know. Seven of Cups. Remember what we learned in the inner courts? The significance of the number seven and what Glacia Labola said on this very live about where they came from. She said, your people call it the Pleiades. We call it something else. But it is that star cluster, which is why they keep trying to go to space. However, However, what if space is like the back door of the deep blue sea? Just what if? Everything in nature is cyclical, it moves in cycles. We can observe and know that as a fact if we just observe the seasons. When we are born, we're born into a cycle of seasons. When we die into or out of a cycle of seasons, and then we are born again into the same cycle. It has been that way since this earth, well, since we were placed here. We don't know what it was like before we were placed here, but since our time here, everything is in cycles: death, rebirth, the seasons, the gradual life of the earth, and then the gradual death of the earth so that it can be reborn again in the spring. Everything is a constant loop, which is why the last card in the tarot is the world card, and it is a woman, amen, inside of a circle. So space and sea, as separate as they are, would also, in my opinion, be the same cycle or cyclical experience, same wheel of fortune, so to speak, where one ends, the other begins, and so forth and so on. That's just the way that I see in my mind, though. So the Seven of Cups gives me their, in reverse, it gives me their space explorations. Now, it's in reverse because they found the answers that they're looking for. If it were upright, they're still searching for unknown answers. They know enough about the sea. The problem is they know enough because they've seen it all. Now, on their attempt to find immortality here, you've got some buried treasure, you got some bodies, you have pyramids and structures that look like developments. And then over here, the serpent and the dragon, the guardians of it all. That is the problem. The left hand path. Well, it's the right hand path over here, but facing it right now, it's over here. So I'll call it the right hand path. That is the problem. And you see this immortality that they seek? It's closest, mind you, to getting bit, bitch. So nature understands man's curiosities, their desire to know God, and some men's desire and their pride and ego to defeat it. So nobody anymore can have say over your life or your circumstances. However, created into the grand scheme of things by a divine intelligence who was way ahead of the game. So that's why we have this here. You might get past that, but you definitely won't get past that. You know, there is a people that are related to a very old people. We're talking about a group of African people, actually, quite a few of them, who still practice serpentine spirituality, Python, Benin, Vodou, Haiti, Voodoo. You'll find pythons and python symbology all over the place. In fact, because y'all know I like to show my receipts. What do we have here? What the hell do we have here? You see, these are passed down from these beings to the earliest people, and those people to this day still. All right, so yeah, that's that about under the sea. I still ain't pulled no moon card spirit. God dog it, where is the moon? Here's the sun. Where is the moon? Look at this. Failed aggressive attempts. Mm-mm. They've read, see, these people in their invasions and conquering throughout the earth, they've conquered a lot of people's books, libraries, spirituality, their traditions, oral traditions, ancient traditions. And in studying all of these people's materials, they found very common threads amongst them all so that they understand that these people were recipients of these aliens. Because no matter where they go throughout the earth, where they find an indigenous native people on those lands that are tied to those lands for times and times and times, the stories are all the same. Different names, things are tweaked, but you will find the same script, different cast in all of them. And what they also found is that they were to be excluded. Why? Because something about their creation ain't clean. Something about their DNA left out of the cycle of reincarnation. Oh dear, where do you go? Look, here's Mother Earth. I take care of who I gave birth to. So they don't have to go and spend the world's wealth drilling holes into the floor of the sea just to find yourself into another floor of the sea. Because my children, they go the easy route. You guys instilled fear in them about passing on. So the passing on is unsuccessful because of the consciousness that you take with you. However, you have salvation once you pass on with a different type of consciousness. So when your brain stops and it's recording like a computer, shutting down all of your experience, if all you've ever known was how to die the right way, nevertheless, though, all of the mother's children will go through the cycle until they pass on remembering. That's the only way out. But that means that we don't have to drill holes in the bottom of the ocean to try to find outer space. And we don't also have to lie about flying to the moon through the sky because we just die. And then we come back. We die and we come back, and we die and we come back, and we die and come back until we evolve out of this plane. You all, though, and I don't know who you all is, but whoever is responsible for these failed explorations, you all, look at you all. Look at that. The cycle here, the cycle here, and then the mother, and then the mother. You guys don't get to go through the same, y'all don't have the same experience. It's like when you pass on, you just stay in the ground. You just, I don't know. Y'all are the ones that return to dust, not everybody else. Because everything that has life does not just return to dust, or everything that has a certain y'all are the ones who return to dust, and y'all made everybody else thinks that that's what the death process is, but that's not it. Our avatars return to dust, and then we just go to the manufacturer and get a new one. You all don't get to go to the manufacturer. Is it that's why it's so important these days to also, never mind. That's another story. So that's that with the earth, the moon exploration, the earth exploration. Diamond wanted to piggyback off of that, and Hey now, I will be working with you tonight. Well, not with you directly, but you finally found the chocolate you want for Easter, Donald. It must be in the store. Okay. So Diamond wanted to do a reading on the ocean. That's interesting. I've never gotten a request to read an element or a body of an element, but there has been nothing that we have tried to see that we have not seen around here. So load up your spacesuits, ladies and gentlemen. We are going into the ocean. Strap up your spacesuits and gas up your what do they call that? Skyrockets, the space shuttles. We're going under the sea. What's happening in the ocean? You do rituals to her. Okay. 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 Well, let's see. Shout out to the ocean. We got the good Florida water. Of course, Diamond. All right. Let me inhale Mother Earth and exhale bitch ass nigga. Trolls and stuff. Mm. Inhales melanin. Exhales trolls. You're welcome. All right. Hmm. I shall start with an oracle. If we are going to speak or read the ocean, then I have to start with an oracle because that's I contact them when I'm contacting upstairs, HR. The oracles are HR. The oracles are HR. So let me contact HR real quick. This is upper management. In my mind, there is a storm hovering over the sea. The waves are crashing, tumultuous. The skies are dark, dreary, and covered in rain, the kind of rain that's blinding, like the kind of rain that falls in, I guess, sheets. Um, the sun is blotted out by the dull gray. I hear thunder. I see a storm and I see tumultuous waves crashing and thrashing about, almost as if the sea is angry. I won't speak for it yet. I'm just explaining what I see in my mind because that's how I work. Most High Mother and Father God, please allow me to consult the divine oracles, those who existed before me, those whose prophecies we live and thrive on today. Live, thrive, or not thrive on today, depending on who you are. You all foresaw times such as now and employed certain technologies within the earth, without the earth, to aid those who belonged to this earth. What have you to say about the ocean today? What does the divine say of the energy, the spirit, the soul of the ocean, the collective conglomerate of the ocean on this planet? What is the energy, the spirit, the soul of the energy current of the ocean currently? Let's see. I feel a slight upset in my tummy. In my mind, I still see the same scenario of crashing waves, and there are some cards in here that depict that. So we'll see. Confidence is your key to success. This is Leo in reverse. Angry. First and foremost, the audacity. We're talking about space and looking up because these people probably did something so below at simultaneously, which is why they're saying they had a successful mission in space. But this is audacity, mind you. We're conjuring up the spirit of the ocean, yet we have a new moon in Leo card. Leo rules the sun, but confidence is your key to success in reverse means your audacity is pissing me off. A time for healing in reverse. Whatever is being done or has been done since the age of industrialization and all of those things, as it relates to the water, has negatively impacted the overall climate. I remember there was a time they were calling for climate control and asking for civilians to change their daily habits, yet none of us own any of those rigs or whatever it is that none of us own cargo ships or any of that. None of us own that kind of stuff. Some of you guys might own boats and yachts, but the civilians have not been the one to monopolize the planet. We just have not. That has been reserved for those who have the power and the resources to do so. And it has been killing the earth and causing it to become hotter. Less water, less water. It's getting drier out here. Less clean water, less fresh water. And yes, it's getting hotter. The poor health of the oceans have caused the entire climate to shift. And that seems to be a direct, the increased heat has been a direct effect of that. Your commitment is being tested in reverse. That makes me feel like they're explorations under the sea. Your commitment is being tested in reverse. If it were upright, I would say if you guys keep trying, there's a way that you guys can crack whatever code you're trying to crack and get whatever door open that you're trying to. If you keep trying. In reverse, your commitment is being tested and it's just going to continue. So you'll continue to be committed to trying to get to whatever you guys are trying to get to, and you guys will continue to be tested along the way and fail. Spirit, what is this overall message from the ocean? Look, this just flipped up. Strength card. This is Leo, the sun. Leo, the sun. What is this oracle message about the ocean from the divine? One card. What are these oracles saying? Am I right about the climate and all that stuff? 10 of Pentacles in reverse. We are losing valuable resources. And I won't say that we've lost so much that the earth is going to crumble, but the earth has kind of been treaded upon. And in my opinion, this is in a card of the elite few, the 10 of Pentacles, because it typically represents generational wealth. And they usually pass that down. Here's like I don't know if that's called, like, what is that, a crest, coat of arms, or something like that. So this archway is initiates. So basically, this is the elites. These are the elites, but this is in reverse. So the message is not to us. If the ocean had, yes, the family coat of arms. So yes, that's what this is. So this gives me the elites in reverse. This is loaded. Oh boy. All right. Before I say what I believe that is, child, you guys are destroying this planet and you don't have any regard for it because you guys don't return. You guys don't take care of your home. You don't value it the same way everybody else who reincarnates the same way does. But we leave here, we come back here. So typically we don't ruin it. It's why we sign up to come back and not be the 1%. As much as once we get here, we break our necks trying to get there. When we pass away and we see the judgment befalling them, we always decide, not, you know what, I'll actually come back. I'll go back the same way I came. Yep, yep, yep. And the spirit's like, you're gonna be pissed off, complaining, and mad the whole way that you ain't rich, right? Yep. Ah, shit, I'll just be mad. And now we got a whole generation of babies that said, we'll wait. We will wait until the judgment is fulfilled so that we can come back empowered. All right. What is this 10 of Pentacles in reverse? Y'all know that's why they're saying the birth rates are declining. Y'all thinking it's just y'all not want to have babies, but y'all got the memo. The soul said we choose not at this moment because we like to see this being played out from the background so we can see the whole thing. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Because if we on earth, we gonna complain about judgment happening for those who should be judged. So we'll choose to stay here until it's done so we can cheer and eat our popcorn. Because if we come back to earth, we'll forget that we're supposed to be cheering for this instead of mourning for this. And we've waited for this moment. So nah. Imagine all those Africans. They said over 2 million Africans on being transported from West Africa to various colonized Western territories decide to take on the sea. Imagine if they said, we don't want to reincarnate, actually. We'll wait. We'll actually wait down here. Yep. Because they ain't got the technology now. But one day they're going to have something called a submarine. Mm-hmm. And when days do, mm-hmm, eyes want to be right here. I'm just saying, what if that's some of the crime mob y'all come across? Y'all know it's a gang culture everywhere in the world. It's crime everywhere in the world. Y'all up under the sea looking at the fishes, and next thing y'all know, y'all get ran up on. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Telling y'all better conjure up the queen and ask her what happened to her as soon as she passed over yonder. Ask her. Go back and read my live when I asked her. I'll never forget. Ten of Pentacles in reverse, the elite. This message is for you from the ocean or of those who can speak on behalf of it. Look at you. Look at you. These are the elites. This is labor here. So this will come up a lot of time for employment. If somebody asks me, am I going to get the job that I just applied for, and I pull the Six of Pentacles? Absolutely. Absolutely. Because this is your employer. Now, this might be you or this might be you. It depends on what your job is and what your salary is. But each person clocks into this person so that they can get their wage. Some people make less at your job, some people make more. That's based on their skill set. So, this is usually employment, labor. The Five of Pentacles is usually or can represent slavery because it's poverty and loss. This, though, could be the age right after the emancipation. And members, we are getting ready to reclaim a president, so we'll probably fall right into this. As I've been speaking about, the decision to emancipate and the civil war over that was over two different forms of slavery. One forced and one here. You get the employment era with the age of industrialization. So the US, after signing the Declaration of Independence, went immediately into their first 5 year economic crisis after they declared themselves to the creative force under national law, separate and sovereign of natural law. And in fact, we have taken your prized possession. We will hold them hostage, but so long as they consent, then we won't be wrong. Nevertheless, when they did that, the divine said, say less, say less. So the 5 year economic crisis happened, and it's my opinion that the way that we got out of that is that was the first time that we started having to take loans and do business with foreign countries. And it was right at the formation, the foundation of our nation. So that's why it seems as though America has always been a business or a corporation. It's because as soon as they signed the OG Declaration of Independence, they went into a 5 year economic crisis. Now, y'all like to say the divine don't do karma and judgment, but y'all just don't know how to look. So they did. They did. And I believe the population of, I'll say, for instance, Jewish. Before that 5 year economic crisis, I believe it was 15,000 or 45,000. Within 5 years of that 5 year economic crisis, the population of Jewish Americans rose to 250,000. Now, I just use them as an example, but there were other populations that grew too. And it's my opinion that that was the direct result of us needing bailouts in our foundational days. Because as a founding nation, you can't afford to go through a 5 year economic crisis, especially when you kind of stole this land from Britain because you were supposed to be exploring it for them and claiming it for them, and you did a coup. So it's my opinion that they had to um, get some help. Now, with that help came those people's ideas about how this country should be formed and led and, developed. Developed is the word. Because if I lend you some money, I'm absolutely going to sit on the board of the company so I can have a say so because I'm looking out for my investment. I need this nation to be successful so y'all can pay me my loan back. So immediately after that became or arose whispers and conversations that began to cause division amongst the founding fathers and the early day politicians. Now, some people are starting to talk about freeing the slaves. Where y'all do that at? That's what the South was saying. Where y'all do that at? Now, the North has always been known for leading the industrial era. So, all our immigrant lenders probably settled in to the North somewhere and they start giving ideas on how to raise the economy for the US. Let me come and build my factory. It's not enough that we lend you money. I want to bring my family over and we want to make ourselves one of the foundational families of this nation. So we had a lot of the elite here, one percenters, making their way over here in this era from wherever their native countries were, wherever they immigrated from, because America was in a bind and they needed them in their foreign interests, connections, and monies and businesses. And now you start to have division amongst the North and the South about wanting to either keep forced labor or how about this? Listen, try this out, Confederacy. Listen, hold on, just hold on, hear us out. We free their shackles, but not their minds. Come on, Democrats, come on. Because the democracy was created around this time too. For those of you who are my members, you know this very well because we don't just do woo, we get to the facts of things. Andrew Jackson was the one who came and created the democracy because he knew, he foresaw this division and it probably wasn't going to go. Those Southerners, they, rightfully so, they're going to push back. But if we give, if we give the great citizens of the United States a say so, and most of them own slaves, and most of them own slaves because it was a lucrative business. So all we have to do is run a campaign based off of industrialization and then create a democracy so that the citizens that are also invested in this can have a say so. What are you going to think? You're going to think they're going to support those and lend their money, invest their money into the North and their manufacturing companies and things like that in a time. So that's kind of what happened. So I say that to say that's what this is. This is talking about the age of industrialization that led to the Civil War because they said we take them out of chains, but and we put them in our factories because that's where we're getting out of the cotton business, out of the peanut business. We're getting out of that. We're building manufacturing companies now. We're building factories and warehouses and things like this. And we need somebody to work them. But all of our laborers are out in the field in the South and they're dying in droves because of the brutality and the meager circumstances. Now, industrialization and employment gave them a less guilty, less brutal because that kept bothering some of their conscience. Not everybody was like the South. They couldn't stomach seeing what they were doing to these people. But that doesn't mean that they saw those people as people. They wanted them out of the fields and into the factories. But the South didn't have any vested interest in those factories that were being built in the North. So that's why they pushed back. The North is like, don't you see though? They're still slaves because we're making, I'm just throwing out a number. We stand to make $1 million this year from this new factory and all of the slave or the ex-slaves that have migrated to the north and will work in them without us forcing them to. We stand to make $1 million. We want to hire 100 Negroes. We will pay them $5 a week. We will give them the American dream because now that they are out of chains, they are going to look at us like the hero, and we'll take that. So now we will give them the dream. We'll tell them that if you work hard enough, that you can pull yourself up from the bootstraps and you too can be like us. But that was never the game. They just needed you into the factories. All of this is coming up because Spirit is saying sometime around this era, the era where we began industrialization, is when we began to impact the climate and the ocean at large. That's what I'm getting to. Industrialization and new labor. Here's the strength card. Why does the strength want to be seen so much? You start making the world hotter or something like that. That's a Leo card. It's, yeah, I see what it is now. All right. It's almost as if Mother Earth herself has to actively defend herself against the ambitions of the ruling elite. So nature might change as it needs to, as it sees fit. As a woman does, go from to nurturing and love to cold and war to protect her family or her children. This seems to be a time such as that. Global warming, climate change, all of that was the earth turning up her own temperature to make these people go away quicker. Because they can't leave. They can't leave anyways. Only people with souls. This is now a message to them. You will never leave outside of the way nature has ordained for you to leave. Only this type of creation, the one where the creator looked down and said, yep, that's how I wanted it to go. This is exactly how this is supposed to work. That's good. Only those will find themselves. Oh, oh, AI. 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 I mentioned before how they suck the consciousness out of the collective and our technology becomes smarter as humanity becomes dumber. Look at that. Look at them powering up their artificial intelligence and siphoning it from you. Look at there. Y'all didn't even realize, not y'all. Nobody in my chat falls under this because nobody that's in my chat this long can be called dumb. Your mind works, or at least it's starting to, and that's a start. These people don't even know that they're dumb, don't know that you're stupid. I'm serious. This is the best way I can say it. And what is the reason, Spirit, again, for their artificial intelligence and artificial soul so they can simulate our dying experience? Why, Spirit? Why? What does their artificial intelligence do for them? King of Wands in reverse, the Chariot in reverse, the Wheel of Fortune. What is this Two of Cups? Two of Cups, Two of Pentacles. Two new industries being fueled by the human consciousness, AI and something else. There's something else being fueled by the human consciousness, AI and something else. Okay. Well, I'm not even sure if that's the energy of the ocean. I just went deep into an oracle message and I still feel like I'm not getting it correctly. So let's see if we can call up the energy of the ocean. And then I guess I'll stop here at 6. I think I'll stop here at 6. Do a members live until about 7. I still have woo to do. I'll need to eat. All right. I'll need to sleep because I have a ceremony, a crown of success in the morning, and then I have family over tomorrow. My sisters and the kids didn't get to do Easter last weekend because everybody was sick. So everybody wants to come here tomorrow, and I have to cook a ham, lamb chops, and macaroni and cheese tomorrow after a crown of success. Then I have to eat, entertain, and then go to bed to be up for the gym on Monday and rinse, wash, and repeat. So I'm tired just thinking about it. Hey, money behind the dreams. I'm already ready for you. I went out today and got everything I'm going to need. So, yeah, I'm actually join you. I'm going to do one for myself right along with you. All right, Most High Mother and Father God, please allow me to conjure up this spirit, soul, and collective energy of the ocean, of the world's oceans, collective oceans. If I may, if I might, if I cannot, actually, Spirit, can I do that? Give me one card to let me know if I can read the ocean. Just one card to tell me if I can or I can't. Because I won't let my confidence be the key to success in reverse and be coming in here with audacity like that. Spirit, one card. Should I proceed or not? Proceed what? Reading the ocean. What is the energy, the soul, the spirit of the ocean saying at this moment? The question came from someone who honors the ocean in ritual. And I think they would like to know, so they would know how to approach the ocean in ritual. Ain't nobody trying to make y'all mad. Ain't nobody trying to make the ocean mad. Nobody wants that. Shall I proceed or halt? Who goes there? 7 of Swords. This might be tricky. This person is tiptoeing away from the camp. I shall proceed, but it seems like I'm going to be deviating, or I'm going to end up maybe having to bring in a message about space. It feels like if I talk about the ocean, it's going to take me down a rabbit hole that is contrary to a popular narrative. Feels like something is about to be realigned, readjusted, even though I should see the judgment for that. The Sun. 7 of Swords. One card to clarify, because I could be wrong. Does that mean proceed? Does that mean halt? Who goes there? Does that mean I'm not intelligent enough to read the ocean? There's the ocean. There's the Two of Pentacles. I've already stepped my foot into it. So let's go. Let's just see. Fuck it. Please allow me. I may struggle. I may struggle with this. Let's just see. Could one spirit read the ocean? Is that possible to do? Is that possible to read the energy, or does the ocean have a soul or a spirit where it can communicate? That's a question. Does the ocean have a spirit or a soul to where it can communicate? I appreciate you too, Money Behind the Dreams. Does the ocean have a spirit or soul to where it can communicate and communicate through a diviner, an oracle? Not sure. I'm not sure. I know the ocean does. Oh, one card of advice for me. I would like to do this, but I also want to be careful to not go down a rabbit hole and I'm not being led by spirit in what I say and see. So, one card of advice for me on this matter. Bitch, go under the sea. Look, the sea under my feet. Just stop confusing yourself and read the fucking ocean. Seems like the spirit of the sea might have a message that's been waiting for somebody to pluck it and tell it. Thank you, Dr. Jonathan. Let us see. Spirit, please allow me to conjure up the spirit, soul, and collective energy of under the sea, the ocean, the collective body of water on this earth that we call the ocean. Some of the people want to know, what is the sea feeling right now? What is the energy of Mother Sea? Yamoya. What is the energy of the sea, especially as it relates to humanity? I'm sure that's what you guys want to know. All right. Oh, I'm so nervous. I'm so scared. I feel like I'm getting ready to do a 5K, and I hate those. I always wonder if I'm going to die right before I finish, and I kind of do. So when I finish, I tell everybody it's my ghost. It's just my spirit that you're congratulating right now. If you go a mile back, you'll find my body. I've done several of the Mercedes-Benz corporate runs in Fort Lauderdale with the company I worked for. And I don't know why I did it every time. Maybe because of the parties, the party environment that it was afterwards. But woo, I am not a marathon girl. I am a sprinter. All right. Ocean. I feel like I'm about to. Now, remember, I said if I had saw the Five of Wands in reverse, then I would have felt like they might have failed, but made a significant stride in maybe their research of the ocean. I think they have, which is why all of a sudden they're saying they went to space with the swords because that represents an air sign. But here is water. The swords are all on a stage. This isn't a ground, this is a stage. So that means air travel is a theatric. Their minds or their feet or their body are closer to the water. Well, I won't say his mind is, but they are. So this is the story up front that they give us about space travel. It doesn't matter who it is giving it to us throughout generations. This is the story of space travel that they've been giving me. So this would be NASA or whomever. Meanwhile, they just say that while their attention and their staff is really doing sea explorations. So the space travel feels like the cover story, and it feels like the entity associated with space travel feels like it is a shadow or shell company for sea exploration, which is why they do most of their, or if not all of their, probably not all, but most of their launches right here in Cape Canaveral, Florida. I don't live in Cape Canaveral, but I do live in Florida. Most of the time when they're shooting rockets, we can literally, they usually schedule them. And as a kid, it was a thing. Like it was a thing. We couldn't wait to go outside to see the rocket or hear it, feel the house shaking a little bit. If they did one in school, the school will kind of make it a thing. They'll let everybody out. We'll all assemble in the field and look up, Marlon, say cheese. And I just felt like, shouldn't they just go straight up? But they would always go up and then do this as if they just finna, they always do that. When you see them go up, it's just like all this sky. If you go straight up, you're gonna pierce the same outer space that you're gonna pierce over there. So is it like a side door over there or over there? Why y'all never just stay straight up? They don't let y'all see that when they show it on the news and stuff though. But bitch, after they cut the camera, if you just watch it long enough, it starts to curve. Like, where is it going? Is it coming right back down? And yes, it just never stays just a straight shot. It always starts to curve. And I just, wait, y'all left something? Y'all left somebody? Not they gotta run by the alien cousin house and pick up something. And then they'll finish going up. Like, where is y'all going? Okay, so anyways, this feels like NASA, but sure. And this is, I'm reading the energy of the sea. They kind of deal with the sea. They're right on the port. They are stationed on the ocean. So what are they doing when they ain't launching rockets out there on the water? Hmm. In my opinion, they have lost a many of their researchers, scientists, and military going down there. That's the challenge they seem to always come up with when going down there, trying to get inner space, is it takes them out. They can't. Failed mission in the worst way. It's not like they get down there and don't find anything. So it's like, oh, the sea is boring. No, they get down there, and the further they go, the deeper they go, the more places that they try to go that they don't belong. They come across many different life threatening situations, and it's more than one. It ain't just the pressure because they got technology for that. So they solve one problem and then come up with another one. Boom, a Leviathan. We got underwater spheres. Whoosh, we shot it. Okay. What do you do about the underwater ghosts? The underwater immortals that don't die? Because what if they just were slaves and they actually didn't die, but they found a way to survive down there? I don't know. What if people down there can't survive down there because they adapted? The problem is, hey, New Orleans. Hey, baby. Hey, April, baby. Problem is, something down there. Every time they try, every time they come or resolve one issue, boom, another one. that all that they've learned from the ancient cultures and civilizations who were wise and illuminated mankind. The ancient libraries and temples, and even the ones that weren't, famed and known of, they have looked back to the past. They've everything they've known. If the first documents that they've ever read in history or that they found in history that were recorded or the Sumerian tablets, then what they have to acknowledge is that everything they know they can trace back to a certain time of the earliest humans. And then things that they've learned, the wisdom that they've learned, have been on the back of the foundations of these ancient texts, knowledge, traditions, things like that, based on what they learned from ancient cultures. And I say ancient, not meaning that they're not still around. I just say ancient because they are very old, a very old people to this planet. From stealing, invading their lands and stealing things from them, they have been able to study and research and make the most, of what they found. So, if back in the day the earth was spiritual and there were temples everywhere and gods and things like that, well, it's not to say that these people do not believe in that science. They absolutely do. However, they have to use technology because they don't have the human, amen, technology that the rest of us do. So they need the technological advances because humans that are naturally human without any yuck DNA injected into us from some of our ancestors' sins and blasphemies, we naturally evolve, or we have the capacity to. These people need robots and artificial intelligence, meaning not real intelligence, but lab made intelligence. And if you don't eat lab made food, why are you consuming lab made intelligence? Unless it's a science lab and you're doing the experiment yourself. Nevertheless, these people were able to monopolize on and industrialize what these people use as a spirituality. That is not to say that these people did not have advanced technology. The thing was, because they were more spiritual than we are today, simply because of the atmospheric changes, the climate changes, and things like that that have affected our biology. These people knew how to take things that we can tap into a little bit spiritually and apply it in the same way that they make a robot or a computer within their own cells. So they were the supercomputer. They were the only intelligence, no need for it. They were the robot, these people. They were the Avengers. I say that to say, from the information that they received from the founding humans, it helped them understand how the earth worked, how life worked, how humans worked. And once they got a good picture on it all, they locked it in amongst themselves. They held it and hoarded it, actually, as a matter of life and death to themselves. Because if the humans know that they can be like a robot, that they can be more intelligent, that you are the prototype of a robot, of the computer, of the car, of the this, of the that. If they stop looking at themselves as just meat suits that get horny every now and then, make babies, go to work, rinse, wash, and repeat until they die, if they start investing more into learning about their biological technology, then we would not be able to control the world, especially 1%. Think about that. 1% of people control all the world's resources. How does that happen? This hoarding information that actually was probably most of ours. It should be our oral traditions, should be for the benefit of humanity because it comes from the oldest humans. And those oldest humans learned it from the water people, which is how they know to look to the water. As much time as they spent in Africa, they've heard about water beings that came from the water to teach Africans literature, mathematics, science, spirituality, and whatever other makes seven. The thing was, it seems that anyway, so that's where they get their foundation for sea or even space or anything that the foundation of whatever knowledge they have today. That's where they got it from. More explorations, except more exploration into the sea. They're not flying off into space. Where does he look like he about to jump off the cliff and land into? The sea. Does the sea look calm? Nope. Otherwise, you wouldn't see these foamy crested waves up here, and the waves wouldn't be raising up and raging up past the cliff. More sea exploration, but they seem to have made some form of success recently. Not saying that they made it, but they did something or they achieved something that they can use on their next level of exploration. And I believe that they think that they're on the right track now. The ruling elite are in trouble. It seems like the sea only holds the ruling elite in its consciousness because they are responsible for the mass pollution of the ocean. You can say, sure, but what about, us throwing trash? Where would we get a Coca-Cola can to throw in the ocean? Hmm? Where will we get? Because I don't think that they make the soda cans with the plastic the individual dividers that they used to say used to choke the duckies and the fish. We don't make those. Coca-Cola and them make those. Where do we get the boats that we buy? Because they were marketed to us. They were created for us to do it. So if these people never created it, sure, somebody might have, but without the resources, it would have never become something that could pollute the world. So if the 1% wanted to not pollute the world, they have the resources to do so because they could stop creating pollutants, stop marketing and advertising a toxic lifestyle, and invest into earth sustaining measures. The ocean says, 1%, come here, boy. This is the Six of Cups. They hold you all responsible for teaching humanity how to pollute and how to do it in a beautiful way. This isn't a bad card, but you go to the beach, you take your floaties, you take the boat, you gas up the boat, all that good stuff. It's a little bit of trash in there, but that's okay. Our little bit of trash isn't going to pollute the whole world. All of that good stuff. Cruise ships and oil rigs, we need those. Remember the BP oil spill? I don't think we've recovered from that. I don't think the earth has recovered. As a matter of fact, I know it hasn't. Want to know why? So we're not getting a message from the ocean. Actually, we're getting a message from the earth and from God. because we're all just in her womb right now. We're all just in Mother Earth's vagina right now. And what a beautiful, sunny, fertile place it is. Unless you're the ruling elite that want to colonize Mars. Why would you want to live on Mars rather than here if it's not something here that you're trying to run from, my dear? With their explorations, they're running quickly, even if it's off a cliff. External to them, here's the moon. Bitch, we've been talking about you for the past 101 minutes, and here you go. Not anywhere in their present position or their future. It's in their external energy, meaning how people see them. So I'm asking to read the ocean. Spirit said, you're talking to God, you're talking to Mother Earth. And this is what I would rather you discuss because there's space or sea travels all tied back to the beginning. Now, how people see the people that we're talking about is the moon. Now, we're reading the ocean. The only reason the moon would come up here is because these people have been exploring the ocean, but they are currently saying that they're exploring the moon, which is why we're reading the ocean. We have the elites, we have their past of world invading and also learning from the cultures they invaded. We have what I think is NASA and whatever other shadow organization that they work with that keeps going on failed sea missions. They keep getting undone in themselves. But we're reading the ocean. So that's why the moon is finally here in the how people are seeing this situation, because the people who are doing business in the ocean are currently saying that they're doing business outer space in the moon. But what does the moon rule? Not just an esoteric knowledge and wisdom, meaning astrology and things like that. Literally, on this planet, what does the moon rule? The fucking sea. Yeah, yeah. So if saying you're on the moon has to be the same thing as saying you're in the sea, either you're at the front door of the sea or the back door of the moon. Either way it goes, you're in the same house. The moon has the most influence and power over the sea on this planet. So even their moon explorations still lead them back to the sea. As the early humans with instincts were acknowledging in their early days our creative force, thanking it for sending the sea people to us. We knew to acknowledge the moon for bringing us sea people who helped us. We were minding our matriarchal business. And what comes up behind us as we are looking up? Because ancient people still practice customs, traditions, and rituals, cultures that are tied into ancient astrology observation. As above, so below. That is what even African Black people. So while we were busy observing the stars, writing down our fascinating scientifical, mathematical, prophetic findings, a bottom feeder, an invader was coming. This invader was watching us the entire time, waiting on the right moment to strike us. And that right moment was after it observed the early humans to figure out how to not only live with them, but subdue them. That is hide their spirituality and hide their ancient information, their cultural information. Just hide everything. Just hide. These people perish from lack of knowledge. So let's lock the knowledge up so that they perish. Hopes and fears. Two of Cups in reverse. These people don't die the same way. They don't get reborn the same way. I'm going to do a bloodline, a blood type, reclaiming the blood type in my inner courts membership, possibly. Bloodline, blood type. I might do blood type for the main members and then bloodlines through, or vice versa. I'll figure it out. You guys have similar blood types or blood groups or something like that, how you guys can be easily identified. I'm not a blood type scientist, so I don't know what the um, characteristic is, but you guys have it more often than not. That's how you guys can be tracked. You guys are not y'all not like us. Your hopes and fears, you're not like us. But you guys are trying to embody the essence of the real human because you want to evade death. And if you can't evade it, then you want to go through the same cycle that we do, the cycle that doesn't destroy you. Outcome, the water. I'm reading the water. I keep having to remind myself that I'm reading the energy of the water, but Mother Earth is here. The Three of Pentacles. This feels like an era more than a direct, the industrial era. Here it is again. The worst thing that happened to the ocean was the industrial era. I guess that's what I'm getting to in short. It took me forever to get here. But I think now that I've gone through the whole reading, now I can say, okay, I think what they're trying to say is the industrial era killed the oceans. Three of Pentacles. Now, this was the trouble that they were having to get the South to agree on emancipation. The South would be left out of the big business of the North. That is why they did not really care to free slaves. It's not just that they thought that that's how it should be. They understood the push was to free the slaves and put them in factories. The problem is the Confederate slave owners didn't own any of those factories. All of their worth and wealth was in plantations. So they had an incentive to keep the old ways, the old industries, the old guard, while the North had all these immigrants. And with the immigrants came new booming, new businesses and things like that, the industrial age, factories, and they needed the slaves to do them because, well, they couldn't. Mm-mm, mm-mm. These people are only good and good at. Anyway, so this is the South who did not have any invested interest. They would be cut out of the world's wealth, so to speak, or the New World Order if we moved away from slavery. So they wasn't going. 5, that represented a turning point in, in my opinion, world history, but not just world history, spiritual history. A defining turning point. The old guard was falling, a new guard was emerging, and the new guard still is the 1%. They make up the 1% of today. So, water is in Mother Earth is sending a message to the 1%. Here they are here. Let's see what they have, what Mother Earth has to say directly to them. This is a new endeavor, and not just a new endeavor. This is more than just a new business. This is a new era, a new, bright, inspiring era. But for those who had an investment in it, it seems like the 1% are the business, the ones who founded the monumental and foundational businesses and entities that we still operate on today. Judgment in reverse, a reverse judgment, exactly what it says. These bodies, though, are being raised out of coffins, and the coffins are in the sea. Three of Wands. Now, that's just saying that they've been held accountable, and this is what they are being judged for by the divine. And in my opinion, if some of those people are saying that they're seeing things coming out or seeing beings coming out of the water, I'm inclined to believe that they're experiencing something because they should be. Not saying like somebody should be doing something, but like looking at the time that we're in now, yes, they should be experiencing certain things. They, I would be surprised if they weren't. I'd probably be looking at the spirits like, I thought y'all said X, Y, and Z. The moon, and then I'll end this because this is what we're all here. Knight of Wands. That's their astronauts saying, "Look at us. We just ran to the moon and ran right back." These people feel like they are working on behalf of Elon or somebody that agrees with Elon's desire to colonize Mars. They're trying to find a way to get to Mars. Nine of Wands. Yes, they're trying to find a way to get to Mars. Mars makes them feel like they can build some form of defense or protection on that planet, since it is the planet that rules might, strength, power, war, violence, all of that stuff, all of that Mars energy. If they can just get there, they can fight off their ops. And I'm not talking about China, I'm not talking about Iran. And no, this isn't the real devil. This is who they see as the devil, the entity that binds and enslaves them to this planet. They might bind and enslave us, but that's only until we die. And if we are unfortunate to be born into ignorance again, then they get that one. But the thing about us is that we're not bound to ignorance. We're not even bound to this planet, only when we're in our physical body. The moment you become aware and you become so aware that it becomes your rod and your staff that supports you to the valley of the shadow of death, meaning the death process. Once you carry that knowledge with you, then it opens up choices and opportunities for you because you don't have to be bound here. They do. Stuck, die, and then perish. So their numbers are few, and they have acknowledged that nature is against them. So their strategy is to, I assume, find their way through the sea moon to Mars because the moon is the portal or the sea. Maybe you go through the sea and then you slip out through the moon into the Milky Way. However, their attempt is to fight against what they feel like is their devil. And it's the same demon and devil that they've told us to fear. That devil does us a favor by binding them here because eventually it won't be enough of them to rule, not the way they have. And even if it is enough, it'll be more of the rebalance, the karmic balance that's necessary. So let them be confined here. We can come back several times, and on the seventh time, they might not even be here. Hey, Josh, I'm going to look into this devil, and then I'm out. Oh, oh. Both of these are earth signs. You got two Mars cards and then two earth cards. It has been determined that these people should go back to the ground from which they came from. I know we all say ashes to ashes, dust to dust, but that is literal for some beings. That's not literal for everybody because we are not our physical bodies. They might be. So for them, it's ashes to ashes, dust to dust because they don't come from the lineage where the creator said it's good and placed its bow, its symbol. Anyways, they don't, but they've been observers of it, researchers of them, and haters. So that's what the sea says. Diamond, if you're still here, you don't have to feel anything about doing your water rituals. The sea is not like a human. If it's got a beef, it knows who is responsible for um its condition. So you continue to honor the water in the oceans the way you have because it's that is combating or keeping the oceans appeased. Somebody's got to respect it out here in this earth of disrespect. So you continue to be one of them that honor and respect the ocean so that we can continue to have grace. You're welcome, Diamond. I am going to end now because I feel myself giving out of steam, but I do want to do a members live. So members, catch me in the live. I'll see you there in a few. Everybody else, thank you for joining me. Happy Saturday and happy Sunday. Love you. Bye.